Welcome back, everyone. Cryptids and Cold Ones.
Hey.
Cryptids and Cold Ones.
Cold ones?
Cold Ones?
Cold ones.
Cryptids. I'm John.
And I'm Evan. And I'm Kyle.
And today, we are going to talk about...
El Chupacabra.
The goat sucker. Did you guys know that if you start whistling the Andy Griffith theme song, it seamlessly can transition into tequila?
You mean the Pee Wee Herman song? Tequila. Tequila.
See how that just seamlessly
Little known fact.
transitioned into that?
How to whistle.
You don't?
I never learned.
Oh my God.
Is it? He never learned how to swim either.
I actually am a great swimmer. Thank you.
Prove it.
That's
Right
why. That's
now.
why he was on the rowing team.
I have a hot tub out back. Next podcast, we're podcasting from a hot tub.
We're going to use pool floaties to put all the electronics on.
Yes.
Toaster bed.
It'll be our most shocking podcast.
Live, laugh, toaster bag. I like the TikToks where it's like, I love it when she's just waiting for me when I get home from work and they walk in the bathroom and there's a toaster in the bathtub.
I love it. Oh.
So yeah, housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Link tree is in the show notes.
2 in the pink, 1 in the link tree.
Whoa.
Went real hard there.
Wow.
Whoa.
You're welcome, John's dad.
Hard. When I got here tonight, I was like, man, I hope I'm at the right house. And then I seen the disabled veteran license plate.
Thank me for my service.
And then I seen the don't tread on me Beavis flag.
Are you threatening me?
I want the no snap on snake.
No snap on snake. Yeah, I got a flag in my garage. It's Beavis with AR-15 that says, "Are you threatening me?"
It's Cornholio.
Cornholio.
You're my favorite type of disabled.
TP for my bunghole.
We didn't rate the beer last episode.
Oh yeah,
We didn't.
Dean Boiler beer, Amber Ale.
From Zealand Brewing. 5.
4.7.
4 even Steven. It was tasty. It had kind of like a caramely flavor to it too.
Yeah, Amber Ale's always good.
Amber Ale.
So yeah, sorry about that.
Which you guys want to get into this week's?
Oh
Yeah, let's do that.
So yeah, let's open it and then I'll tell a little story about it.
Give me a hell yeah! What?
Tell us a tale, Kyle.
Spin that yarn.
Oh yes, indeed. So, New Glarus Brewing Company, the Spotted Cow from Wisconsin, the cheese country.
This would go good with some curds.
Ooh.
Man, we should have went to Culver's. Oh, goodness gracious.
Cheese curds with some gravy on it.
And the gang goes to Culver's.
Yeah.
Doesn't that just become poutine at that point?
Poutine. Oh, that's another French word.
Oh.
Cheese curds,
It's
gravy,
cute.
mashed taters.
But they're like backwoods French, so we don't like them either.
Shout out to my family member / buddy Brian. I won't throw out his last name, but he's from Wisconsin, and he provided this beer for us this
Thank you,
evening.
Brian.
Go Pack, go.
Go Pack Go, and yeah, he is a definite Packers fan.
Hell yeah, Brian.
So yeah, this is pretty tasty. We gotta take another sip and see how
We
it
actually
feels.
have to rate this one.
Yeah.
Instead of drinking.
We've been notoriously bad for that lately.
Yeah. You can get heavily shit faced on this. Wow.
Yeah,
That
what
is
is
smooth.
the percentage?
Smooth.
It's not much.
I don't see it.
It's
They
good.
don't tell you. It's
That's how you know it's good.
it's deceptive. I don't know.
It's employee owned though.
It's like
It's 12 ounces. Yeah, it doesn't say.
Doesn't say. It's very smooth. It's a good beer. I don't know what type of beer it is though.
It's an ale.
Oh, yeah. Just a regular old ale.
4.8%.
4.8.
It is a farmhouse ale.
Ooh, okay. You're out in the farm pulling some teat.
Yeah.
You want to drink a spotted cow? Pull that teat. Teatpulling.com.
I'll give it 4. I'll give it 4.
I like 4.5 because it almost tastes light, like a light beer to me.
I will give it a 5. I really like the Wisconsin beer.
It's got a little snap of the citrus, the citrus.
Yeah,
I
it's
got a
not
little
as much
aftertaste.
citrus as that Honey Lab, though.
Oh man,
Like
that was
IPA.
really good. Yeah, that bitch slapped me with some citrus.
I love it. So
Oh,
good.
blow it into the mic
goodness.
next time. I want to hear your.
No, because that causes issues.
Oh, it makes
then
the
it takes
satanic
me an
sounds?
extra hour to edit things.
Okay, we got to think about that next time. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
I never think about that, John. I never think about editing. I'm sorry because you do all the work.
It's okay. I forgive you.
I'm really excited about tonight's.
Our entire friendship is just me apologizing. You're like, okay, I forgive you.
We're almost Canadian with our apologies.
Sorry. I was leaving.
Sorry, Jim.
I was leaving the gym the other day, right?
Sorry.
And this guy was walking in, and as I was walking out, and I held the door open for him, and then he held the door open for me.
Ooh.
And then there was a third guy coming, and we both held the doors open for the third guy to leave. And then I walked out, and I was like, man, that was a Canadian standoff.
Speaking of trifectas and things, the other day, was it Friday? We were all drinking the.
Well, no, I sent you. Did I send it to you first?
You sent it to me initially.
Okay, yeah. So I sent. Well, years ago we used to follow this guy named James Yeager, who was a firearms enthusiast / trainer, and I actually went to one of his trainings, and he always had the. What flavor monster was it?
The tea lemonade.
The tea lemonade monster. So I was feeling kind of peckish in the morning, so I sent Evan a picture of mine, and it just so happens that Evan was drinking the same thing. I think John was.
I was driving to a job, but I had the mango.
Oh yeah,
and I told you to pull over, and then you did.
He did. He pulled over and bought one.
I stopped at a Beacon and Bridge.
Down there, yes, and took a picture, so the Holy Trinity was complete.
the Trinity of cryptidness.
Yes.
Let's rate the monster.
10 out of 5.
Oh yeah,
5,
yeah.
4
You know,
out of
it's
10.
like 69 out of 1.
69, 420.
69.
Nice.
Oh
Hell yeah.
So, boys, today we're talking about El Chupacabra, or the goat sucker, for those of us who speak American. This wily little bastard appeared on the cryptid scene sometime in the mid-90s, much like absurdly colored teal cover.
Oh, Geo Metros.
Side
I have
note,
a story that I'll tell you later about funny cars.
Side note, Chupacabra hails from Puerto Rico. Shout out to our kind of American friends.
True story.
I mean, they don't get voting rights or voting
Well,
representation in Congress.
They're not very good
What-
at doing IVs either. And I know that from.
I don't think
From the military?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a story from the military. I was at Fort Dix, also known as Plural Penises, in New Jersey, getting ready to deploy for Dick Cheney's war in Iraq. Shout out to Dick Cheney and bird hunting. But most all the soldiers from Puerto Rico were going through there, and we all had to have on our dog tags we had to have what our religion was, and they all had Wiccan. They were all Wiccan. Like,
Really?
yeah, isn't that like more like earthly based, or is that like witchcraft or something?
That's witchcraft.
Yeah, that's witchcraft. That's weird.
Damn.
Wild.
My story was also from the military about funny cars.
Well, just let me get through this.
He's gonna get mad at us again.
Yeah, pigeonhole that for now,
He's gonna get mad at us.
and the IV.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, I don't think they have voting representation in Congress or electoral votes, and they have some really restrictive gun laws. So I think it's a fair assessment to call them kind of American. And I hope that's really not a sore spot for our Puerto Rican listeners. Wait, we don't have any.
Oh.
Anyway, now I'm just picturing this little guy cruising around rural Puerto Rican farms in a teal geo tracker, and only leaving once he sucks their goat dry. Which, to be clear,
Lucky goat.
I'm not talking about sucking goat. I'm talking about sucking goat blood, you twisted fucks. It's a vampire.
Oh, we're not talking about the Pinar?
No.
The plural Fort Dix Pinars?
It's been 67 years.
So there's a lot that goes into this one. The Chupacabra started out in Puerto Rico in the 90s, and sightings quickly spread to the southwestern United States. And now you can find Chupacabra sightings throughout most of the lower 48. I haven't seen any sighting reports from Alaska, but in Canada, Chupacabra, they just call it Justin Trudeau. He's known for sucking something besides.
Oh, goodness.
Yes.
Oh, I had to get
Oh, Fidel Castro's son.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
There's no denying that.
No.
Hey everyone, it's John. I just wanted to take a second to talk about our friends over at Deemed Fit. Deemed Fit was founded by two first responders, and they focus on fitness and mental health, all through donating to causes like Tunnel of Towers, Beyond the Badge, P.S. I Love You, and more. Join us as we help them along by following the link in our link tree and using code Cryptids15 for 15% off your order. Now back to the show.
So, now that I got that tomfoolery out of my system, I'm actually going to explain what we're really talking about. Personally, I believe Chupacabra is a catch-all saying that describes two totally different cryptids that just happened to initially be seen where there was a significant portion of the population that speaks Spanish. So I think it's more of like an anthropology, sociology type deal, where there's two different things. One, which I believe is very much real, and the other, which I believe is not. So, back to geo vehicles. I always wanted a geo tracker.
Why?
I don't
Because
know.
they could flip over on the turn of a dime. Like, they were terrible.
Well,
If anything, you should have got a Suzuki Samurai.
I was just about to mention the Suzuki Samurai.
Another vehicle that I drove was a Suzuki Samurai in Kuwait, and we had a M249 saw mounted on the back of it.
That's the only
Hell
way to
yeah.
drive your
And we were the
Suzuki
quick reaction force for Camp Doha back then.
Hell yeah, brother.
For a month. Oh, hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah,
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
Samurai.
I just watched The Predator today, too, by the way.
Oh, really?
Did you?
Do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Oh, that kind of predator.
No, I'm not. Yeah, not a child predator. No.
That kind of
You ever see that video where
I'm Chris Hansen.
they're like they're in a boardroom and there's like the only thing worse than a rapist is, and then the guy pulls the paper away and it says child rapist, and the guy goes a child. I'm gonna have to edit all that out. We can
Leave it in. Leave it in. That's what she said. Hey,
So,
we're so immature.
I know. That's what she said.
That's what she said.
So, the early reports coming out of Puerto Rico were influenced by mysterious livestock deaths, and they describe a bipedal, heavy, alien-like or reptilian creature that was the size of a small bear. What is a small bear, guys?
Tardigrade? Well, that's water bear.
About water bear.
400 pounds.
I just watched a thing with my son on tardigrades the other day.
They can live in space.
That's weird.
Yeah. And they like have their own like little.
Oh, look how cute that little baby bear
Are you looking at?
is.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
So, like, Michigan isn't known for massive bears. Like, I think, like, 300 is a big bear here.
I would agree with that statement.
I always thought the Chupacabra was not. It was a quadruped, not bipedal.
Well,
Did it like boys and girls? Is that what you're saying? So sorry.
So, I get to that.
All right.
So, the creature's also said to have a row of spines from the back of its neck to its tail. Whereas reports of the creature coming out of the mainland United States seem to suggest it's quadrupedal. quadriplegic. No, it's
It's paralyzed. It's the only cryptid that's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Hey,
Stephen Hawking of cryptids.
hey, hop around.
It's out here. It's out here.
We are.
Oh, goodness.
Oh man.
Rest in peace to Stephen.
No, he was on Epstein's Island.
Oh, rest in hell.
Yeah. Anyway.
Pedo.
So, and
Release the files, Pam Bondi.
yeah. Let's use all of our freaking influence. Release them, Pam. We have so much influence here at Cryptids and Cold Ones that we're going to pressure.
Cryptids and pedos.
Anyway, so witnesses have described the Chupacabra, or the goat sucker, as more dog-like here in the United States. So these key differences in descriptions make me believe that we're talking about two distinct cryptids. However, both these creatures are said to prey on livestock, as opposed to dead stock or wood stock.
The bird?
Summer of 69.
69.
Nice. So, let's get into some encounters. So, the first one the big one that made the news was in August of 1995 in Canovanes, Puerto Rico. I know that I am just absolutely slaughtering that word.
Es no bueno. Es no bueno.
Uno más.
Uno más.
That's the only thing I know in Spanish to ask for.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
Every time I call into the office, I go, hola, ¿cómo estás? And then she responds in Spanish, and I go, great.
That's all I know. Every time Evan calls me, he starts with, hola, cuz.
I do.
Hola.
Remember when we used to go through Taco Bell drive-thru? I would like a quesadilla, please.
Quesadilla.
Can I get one of them caramel and pandas?
Pandas. It's like, oh man.
John's dad just texted me a video of him falling in the parking lot at church.
I actually have body camera footage upstairs of me. My chief made it for me. Body camera footage of me, like random times when I fell on the ice when I was working. I actually, I was chasing a guy in the vehicle for a felony warrant. He got out, bailed out. It was the middle of winter. I mean, we were like the first tracks in the snow. I jumped out of the car, 5 steps, fell on my ass. I got a video of that. It's hilarious. And then there's another one. I was just going to a house to take a regular larceny report or something like that. And I'm just gingerly walking up the walkway, and then all of a sudden you see the frickin' sky, and you just hear me. You hear me go. Son of a bitch.
Did he put it to the music of like
No,
no.
that should have happened though. But yeah, no, that was pretty cool that I got those.
It's unfortunate that Brian did not do that. I like that man.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
So, anyway, back to this sighting that I'm talking.
My son's upstairs yelling at the video games right now.
You can hear it. It's
great. Yeah, it's through the vents and everything. I think he's playing Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, that game's so frustrating.
It looks different.
I'm gonna text him and be like, "Cole, you're fucking up our podcast." Anyway, so this is considered the most important sighting on record due to the remarkable detail. The witness's name was Madeline Tolentino Maldonado. Do you guys know why they always have 2 last names? I don't know.
I don't.
I wish somebody could explain that to me, because it seems like Hispanic people always have 2 last names. And I know it's cultural, and I just don't know why. Comment our Facebook or
the first being the paternal surname and the second being the maternal surname. This tradition is rooted in Spanish naming customs and is used to honor both parental lineages.
Cool.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. So, Miss Tolentino Maldonado, that I'm just going to call her the witness because that's a lot to say, claimed to see the creature near the street outside her mother's home. The story made it to the New York Times in January of 1996 in an article called Animals Killed, An Island is a Buzz, authored by Maria Navarro. So, the witness explained that...
Didn't she play guitar for...
That was Dave.
Dave
That's
Navarro.
right. That's right. They both wear eyeliner, though.
Yes.
Zinger.
I wonder if I can get my wife to bring this beer down here.
Jane says, using Jane's addiction.
Yeah,
too.
that's it. Jane's Addiction. I couldn't remember.
Serious. I'm done with Sergio. Treat like a rag doll.
And he's also a judge on Ink Master for some reason.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's not a tattoo artist, but he is a judge on it
That's what qualifies him.
because he has a lot of tattoos.
Well, so do you. You can do that.
I couldn't.
I
judge.
How many tattoos do you have?
I have one good one, and I have multiple others that were done in the back of a porn shop.
Hell.
By his cousin.
Hell yeah, brother!
Oh, hell yeah.
And when I tell people that they were done in the back of a porn shop, they don't believe me.
Like
They
it
say,
sold fuck books and everything?
oh yeah,
And
you had to walk past the
penars?
the Dido wall.
Oh, you can't say that word?
I don't know. Can we say that word?
I don't know. Just say
The
it.
Dildos.
Okay.
Dildos.
Anyway.
The pocket vagines?
Yeah, you had to walk past the whole wall full of them.
Didn't you have a family member that owned that too?
No, that was his wife.
Oh, okay.
Her parents own it.
Okay.
It's still open.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You were telling me that was up in Standish, right?
What if they sponsored us?
Hey, if you're listening, B2 Adult Bookstore.
It's B2 adult. I drive by that. The hunger cabin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on
That's the
33.
one?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's where I got my
We
first
always-
tattoos.
Hey everyone, John again. We know that you are all used to hearing the three of us crack jokes and not take things too seriously while we record these episodes. But one thing that the three of us do take seriously is mental health, and believe we should take this time to spread a positive message. That's why I'd like you guys to check out the Hey You Project. Founded in 2020, the Hey You Project set out to break the stigma of mental health and has since made contributions to organizations such as the National Alliance of Mental Illness, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, and many more. Follow the link in our link tree and use the code JOHN29177 for 5% off your order. Back to the show.
Your dad always used to make comments about it every time.
That's awesome. Yeah, my dad loved it.
They would breed Yorkies, and we got one of their dogs, and we had to go get it in the parking lot there.
Biscuit.
That was Biscuit.
I know, I remember.
R.I.P. Biscuit. That was a good dog.
Corn shop biscuit.
He fought off a pit bull one time.
Wild.
That's ultimately what did him in was, but he did it.
He did it. He had a lot
Yorkshire
of...
Terrier.
He had a lot of spunk.
R.I.P.
There's a lot of spunk at that pork shop.
You went there. I threw that one out like a softball, and I didn't
Thank
even
you for
realize.
that, 'cause
You're welcome. So,
Chupacabra.
anywho, the witness explained that she was helping her mother move into a new home and noticed a vehicle about to park outside her home. Concerned that the vehicle was going to block access to the home, she went and looked out the window. It was at that point that Madeline realized the driver looked quite frightened and believed that the driver was about to be hit or mugged because, it's clearly a good neighborhood. Madeline never went to pass up free entertainment, went closer to the window to get a better look at the situation that she believed was about to in front of her. When she got closer to the window, she became aware of a bipedal creature that appeared to be aware of the car, but initially did not notice Madeline. At some point, the creature did become aware of Madeline as she noted that it was looking back at her. Madeline went on to describe the creature as a 4-foot tall bipedal creature that had legs that were disproportionately long for its body. That looked like, and it looked like it had burned itself on something as it appeared ashen. The creature's eyes were gray and damp and protruded, and it had no whites to its eyes, and they ran up to where one would expect its temples were. Each of its arms had 3 long, skinny fingers, and it appeared to have feathers on its back.
So it's a velociraptor, a clever girl.
It's clever.
I don't think I've ever heard it described as having feathers.
Never.
Yeah.
Never have.
It's interesting. So
Clever girl. He should have lived like he did in the
Yeah.
book.
yeah, I agree.
Oh, he lived in the book.
Yeah.
Oh.
One of the best characters.
Yeah.
And he had a spouse 12,
Yes.
which I
My
hear is
background
actually,
is Dr. Ian Malcolm.
I think the spouse 12 is overrated. I'm just gonna say that. Everything that I've heard about it, like, yeah, I want a spouse 12. I'll admit it.
You never know when you're going to have to kill a velociraptor.
Exactly.
Or a chupacabra.
Or a chupacabra. So it seems like it doesn't cycle correctly, and that's why it has that action where you can use this pump action as well. Yes. Do it.
No, that would blow everyone's eardrums out.
It probably would. You're right. it's a squeaky chicken. So this is kind of where I diverge on this one a little bit. So that's the Puerto Rican chupacabra. There's a lot of animal deaths and stuff like that, which I don't know what we could attribute it to your Wiccan friends from Puerto Rico.
Sacrifice?
Yeah, just killing the.
Sugarfish!
Yeah.
Sugarfish!
No, I guess that's where what I'm getting at here, though, is
That's a
like
good point.
I
like
don't
that.
believe this thing exists, and
Well, it seems like it does. I don't know what you're talking
well,
about.
let me
This
get
thing
into
is-
this a little bit more here. So
Are you telling me it's just a coyote with mange?
no, we'll get into that too.
It's coyote.
It's kind
He's
of,
getting really mad and his eyes are getting heavier right now, so
I'm a little irritated. I'm irritable. I have
maybe if you wouldn't have cheated on us with other friends.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about the
Yeah,
elephant.
let's talk about that for a second.
Evan went out with other
How
friends.
dare you?
they were awesome.
In my greatest Greta Thunberg voice. How dare you?
Do you guys know I have that when I open up the tank to my trunk or my truck? You know,
Oh, you have the Greta picture?
it's a sticker and it's got Greta on it looking really angry.
Ah,
And it says, "How dare you?" And I fill up my tank, and I'm like, "Well, that stung a little bit," but I laugh every time because my short-term memory sucks, so I forget it's there. And I'm like, "That's funny." Oh, past me, you're a funny one.
Because that's like drunk you leaving you notes and stuff
Yeah.
when you wake up.
Remember when I used to just pee on things when I was drunk?
Yes, I do.
It's the feral Evan Martinez
Yeah.
territory.
Yeah, it's like,
But it was always just his nightstand.
Oh, Jesus.
and I got peed on a lot. Oh my god.
I remember staying the night one night and I was sleeping in the recliner and I wake up because I hear something and I look and he's just, oh Jesus, and I just like rolled over and went back to sleep.
I've never understood
I'm
that.
not gonna stop him.
I know. I've heard of a lot of people that just drink and piss everywhere. Like, I've never done that. I've shit my pants before as an adult, but I've never pissed other than in a toilet indoors.
I don't know. I mean, I
well,
haven't done that in years, but I
Oh,
also
yeah.
don't drink.
That was a beautiful.
Ooh,
It was.
You should have shared
that came
that
from
with
my
the
that came from my
viewer.
belly button.
That came from my soul.
So back to the chalupa.
Nacho cheese too.
Oh, I'm gonna get
Oh my god, the cheesy street chalupas that they had for a while.
I've not had one of those.
They don't have them anymore.
Yeah,
but God, they were fantastic.
So,
that does sound good.
so the Chupacabra in Puerto Rico, right?
Sweet love to
Hot nacho cheese. Yeah, that was
just pour that cheese all over the place.
oh yeah.
Man, you guys are really screwing up my episode.
No, we're not.
We're
enhancing.
We're adding to it.
Your flavor enhancers.
Yeah.
We're trying to narrow down the smut book listener demographic by
Smut book.
speaking very low and talking about getting nacho cheese poured on.
And we're recording at nighttime. Nighttime is the right time.
Oh, what's that? Oh yeah. No,
That's Kool-Aid.
And then I grabbed that chalupa and I pushed it up against the wall.
what is that, Seeger? Talking about night. Was he with the Silver Bullet Band at that time? Or was it just Seeger on his own?
I can't remember.
Did I ever tell you about the time I worked for an organization that I was doing some work? No, I worked for an organization and we would talk with individuals.
He was with the Silver Bullet Band at the time.
Oh, excellent. Silver Bullet Band years were the best. So
that is just a fantastic handlebar mustache he had then.
a buddy of mine ends up going to Bob Seeger's house. Bob Seeger's kid answers the door. And he's talking to Bob Seeger's kid, and Bob Seeger comes out. And this dude doesn't know who Bob Seeger is, right? And his kid finds it absolutely hilarious. And Bob's like, I've got Grammys. And the guy's like, his kid's like, everybody's got Grammys, Dad. I just thought it was hilarious. So, anyway.
I digress.
I really, really went off track on that with Bob Seeger. So, I enjoy that story, though. Bob Seeger, I would like to party with Bob Seeger and Kid Rock. I think that'd be fun. They hang out together in Grand Rapids. When you're over there and you run into Bob and Kid Rock, give me a call. I'll come hang out.
I'll do my best. I used to work with a dude at Meyer that looked like Wish.com. Kid Rock, and we called him Kid Ruckus. He did not like it.
Kid Ruckus.
Oh, man.
You sound like you need another beer.
Yeah, that one's empty.
I might have to go upstairs. So,
gentlemen, I want to get back to the Chupacabra.
you get to the Chupacabra. I'm gonna go get. Do you want another one?
I'm good with where I'm at.
Oh yeah, because you have to.
To drive.
Operating motor vehicle.
Yeah. So, anyway, Chupacabra. This one, the Puerto Rican Chupacabra, I don't buy. And the reason for this is Madeline has retold and told her story multiple times, has said things differently, different times to different people. There hasn't been a lot of consistency. She's in different variations of the story. She's contradicted herself. And then in the same episode, or in the same telling of the story, contradicting herself from earlier in that time frame. So in my line of business, what we call that is a lack of credibility.
Yeah, I can see where that'd be coming from.
Yeah. So I guess my take. Oh man, we got young Lucia.
We got a special guest here.
Special guest.
Hell,
My son Lucas.
am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, you can.
We can say the bad words.
You just can't give him a beer. You can't give him a cold one.
That's okay. So anyway, it turns out that Madeline had actually watched the movie Species shortly before this sighting. And it appears, if you look at the description that Madeline gave and description from the creature in Species, it's like exactly the same.
Okay.
She took a bunch of peyote and she was like, I synced it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, there's that, or Madeline could just be a fucking liar.
That's
Yeah,
true.
true.
Yeah. Sorry, John Stan.
Yeah, sorry, John's dad.
Sorry, Luke.
Sorry, Lucius. It's okay. I used to read you books, so I've given, and the good Evan taketh, and the good Evan giveth.
To be fair, the last time I seen you, you were like that tall.
Yeah.
Now you're like an adult.
It's kind of weird, actually. So, getting to the creature here in the southern, southwestern United States, there is still a lot of livestock deaths, which they blame on this creature. But it's more dog-like. And could we play that little clip? Because this is a more recent sighting, and I think it's hilarious because it's a local newscaster talking about it.
Yeah, hold on, I got it right here.
Excellent.
Here we go. Commercials.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
darn
that.
commercials.
Oh, that's night moves.
Oh,
I was a little too tall, could have used a few pounds. Tight pants, points, taller now. She was a black-haired beauty with big dark eyes. Voice all her own, sitting way up high.
All right, sorry.
it's like
I couldn't resist.
break for night moves.
I couldn't resist. All right, here's the actual video.
All right, y'all, thank you. This is, I think, the most exciting story of the morning. DeWitt County sheriffs, down kind of between San Antonio and Victoria, may have found the mythical, legendary, and elusive Chupacabra. I kid you not. Look at the video. This is from the sheriff's cruiser. Last Friday, hours before sunset, the two deputies were checking fence lines near Cuero when they stumbled across that alleged creature of the night. Kills goats and chickens, sucks the blood out of them. Now, one of the deputies, there it is again, called it hairless with a long snout, short front legs, and long back legs. He said it's about the size of a coyote, but when he froze the video and saw its profile, he knew he was not dealing with a coyote at all. The county sheriff says he is willing to work with credible researchers who want to look at the video and help solve the mystery of the Chupacabra. Again, if you don't know what this animal is supposed to do, apparently it has two fangs, and that animal had fangs, and a couple others killed in the area that look like that animal also had those two front fangs. And in the area, goats and chickens have died, and their death was the two fang marks in the neck and the blood sucked completely out. Now, again, the sheriff is willing to work with anyone to determine, is that really a Chupacabra or what is it? But again, he looked at it and said that was no coyote.
That was the worst haircut I have ever seen.
And I, as a former police officer, I have dabbled in the cop haircuts, and that was dog shit. That was like absolute terrible.
I had better haircuts at the PX.
Post exchange for you civilians.
So, basically, this Chupacabra, they have video of it. It's like multiple videos of the Chupacabra. It looks like a hairless dog. But the Texans are taking it pretty seriously. Obviously, everybody, speaking of which, you've seen the video now. You're talking about a dog-sized creature, right? What do you guys think you would choose to use to shoot the Chupacabra? What do you think would take it out easily?
It's a pretty small animal, so just any varmint.
223 easy. Yeah, simple 223.
Yeah, I'm on board with 223.
High-powered assault rifle.
So, but Texas takes it pretty seriously, and there's a lot of different videos and different things. So there's the 2014 report by Ratcliffe, Texas family who claimed to have captured the Chupacabra in a cage. The animal was cared for while its species was determined. More on that later. Anyway, and then a 2016 Chupacabra sighting in Hockley County. What just happened?
John's having one.
John's dad just commented on the photo I posted and said, "Evan, you've never looked better."
Yeah, Evan's wearing a full
Balaclava.
so his entire face is covered.
Yeah, I gotta keep that anonymity.
Animosity.
So
I'm gonna start changing his voice.
Yeah, I like that. Like they do for the witness protection
Yes.
people on I like that. So there's also surveillance footage of a bipedal wolf-like creature seen outside the Amarillo Zoo back in the summer of 2022. While the zoo described the figure, which very well may have been a person in a costume, as an unidentified Amarillo object, many online pointed out similarities to traditional Chupacabra depictions. So this got so big in Texas that Texas A&M University actually published extensive research on the subject, as well as its most likely explanations for sightings of the creature. So they captured Chupacabra, which I would like to point out that they've determined what it was. It turned out they named it Bubba the baby Chupacabra because it had a hairless back, large claws, countless teeth, and a ferocious growl. So what was it? They thought maybe it was a dog, a fox. And as they figured out, it turned out to be a raccoon with mange.
Have you ever seen a hairless
it's terrifying.
bear?
Yeah,
It's terrifying.
they are terrifying.
I
So,
can only imagine what a raccoon would look like.
but you're still talking about a considerable amount of
Like this.
livestock depredation, and you have this footage. I tend to actually believe that's an existing creature, and it very well might be a new creature, especially when you're talking about it having like longer back legs than front legs. That sounds weird, like kangaroo leg, right?
Oh, yeah.
And if you watch that video, it's kind of bouncing along a little weird. It doesn't have the gait of like a dog.
That's true.
So maybe it's a new creature. I guess I would ask you guys, what do you guys think it is?
I think it definitely falls under it's some animal with mange.
It's a mangy coyote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the bite marks, blood sucking, where are they getting that from?
That's odd too, but I mean, then you get into the weirdness of cattle mutilations and stuff like that, which they're blaming.
Well, yeah,
on
that's just the aliens.
That could be the super honkies or.
the super honkies or the aliens.
The super honkies in Mexico.
Well, Puerto Rico.
Well, no, we're now talking about Texas because I just
Oh.
completely dismissed the, the Puerto Rican one as Madeline fucking lying.
Yeah. She just wanted that fame.
Yep. Sorry, John Staff.
She's clout chasing.
Clout chasing. Well, she lived in a bad neighborhood, obviously, based on her expectation that somebody was about to get mugged
That's
in
true.
her new house. But when I think about that, I'm throwing out the cattle mutilations and stuff like that because I think that's a separate entity dealing with that, right? So we're just talking about regular livestock depredation. Here's what I believe could possibly be Mexican wolf. They're smaller than regular wolves. It's dog-like size, right? That have mange.
Oh.
I mean, and the population appears to be bouncing back.
Really?
Yeah, from everything I've heard, the Mexican wolf population is bouncing back. And so if there's more of them, people aren't used to seeing them from the past, right? They're changing their
Habitats. Coming into cities or towns. And
Yeah. You have people encroaching on where they're at. And, say you have some, mange, which amounts to a mite. It's animal scabies. It makes you look really weird, right? So, yeah, that's my take.
I like that.
That makes sense.
And I mean, wolves kind of have a different build than like a dog to an extent.
Yeah, they're stockier.
Yeah. Well, not Mexican wolves. They're, I think we talked about it in the last episode.
You're right. Like normal dogs don't wear sombreros.
No, well, these are like a reddish color wolf too. Have you ever seen a Mexican wolf?
I haven't.
It's really cool.
I'm looking at them right now. They have like a coat like a coyote.
Yeah.
They're more dog sized. Like
yeah, and based on that video that I was seeing, it makes sense. Mexican wolf with mange.
They weigh 60 to 82 pounds and 28 to 32
they're
inches.
small.
Mm-hmm.
That is like the size of a coyote.
That's a big coyote.
Yeah, but
We have some bumper coyotes that people have been shooting up in the UP, because they can't shoot wolves, but they can shoot coyotes.
right. Yeah, only one of those two species is a threat.
Yeah.
Speaking of
And it's not the packs of wolves that are killing everyone's animals.
Yeah.
crazy species, when I was mowing my backyard with my new lawnmower. Thank you.
You didn't tell me what you got. What did you get?
Cub Cadet 1040 LTX.
Nice.
Does it have a cup holder?
Yes.
I do like me a Cub Cadet. I do.
Yeah.
That's what I had.
Very fine piece of machine.
My lawn is
in my
too small for
backyard,
that.
I saw. So you know how primarily around here we have brown or gray squirrels.
Yes.
Well, in my backyard, I had a full black squirrel and a half gray brown, half black. So the face and the chest was black, but then the entire back was brown or gray or whatever they call it. It was brown.
It's squirrel inbreeding.
Yeah.
It's the trailer park right by.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when we were going to change the grade so all the water in your backyard just floods into the trailer park?
Yeah.
That reminds me of a story of when I was a child. When we lived out on Fraser, we had a ditch that ran along our property, and the crazy old German lady that lived across the street, Gerda, what was her name? Gerda? Something like that. She come over and starts yelling at my dad, talking about how I flooded her basement out because I built the dam in the ditch.
John's just a regular beaver over here.
Yeah, she was not happy. She used to give my grandma like German candy all the time, and after that, she just cut my grandma off.
You have some weird people that you've.
In your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it though. Oh. Well, for some reason you've stuck around being my friend. That makes sense now. Things are making sense.
You're the less weird of all of them.
I know, it's odd.
I was speaking of my story from earlier about the cars.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
the Geos?
this was when I was at AIT. We had one of the cadre.
Advanced individual training.
One of the cadre, Sergeant Great. He drove a 90s Ford Escort.
Ooh.
And he had spinner hubcaps on it. And Sergeant Great talked just like this.
Oh, yeah.
And every single day he would come on, he would tell us we ain't getting no pass this weekend. Someone's smoking in the porta potty again. Ain't getting no pass this weekend, 4-foot truck. But one time he comes out and he pinpoints this one guy. And he's like, "Hey, Private, heard you were talking about my car." And he's like, "No, sir, no, I wasn't." He's like, "Nah, I heard you were. What'd you say about my car?" And he's like, "I want to say it, sir." And he's like, "Nah, say it." And he's like, I said it looked like a fruit roll-up on wheels, Sergeant. And he was trying so hard not to laugh because it was a teal 90s Ford Escort with spinner hubcaps on it.
Oh.
That's as soon as you mentioned teal cars, I was like, oh, boo, boo, boo.
Why did they do that?
4-4 truck ain't getting no path this weekend. And it was always like, we would go to these training sites and there was like no smoking on site. And there was always someone that hid in the porta potty and smoked. Like,
you didn't get no pass.
and then Friday would roll around, we'd get done with training, and he'd call us in the formation, and he'd go, "All right, 4-foot truck, you got about get released down path right now." And it was like, I never left base. Like when we would go on pass, I would just go hang out at the USO. But there was like this group of like 30 dudes that always went to Fob Louie's, what we call Big Louie's, the strip club outside of Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
They would all go there. And one time, it was like Sunday, they called us out into formation once everyone got back, and these two guys were in the back of formation just laughing. And Sergeant Great comes walking over, and he goes, "What's so funny, Private?" And he's like, "Nothing, Sergeant." He's like, "No, tell me, I want to laugh." Tell me. And he's like, I was singing about a song. And he's like, "Sing it." He's like, "Oh, I don't want to." And he's like, "Nah, sing it, I want to laugh." And so he's like, "Oh, I'm in love with a stripper." And he just starts singing it. And Sergeant Gray goes, "I ain't laughing, Private." And so he's like, "Oh." And so he starts like screaming it like a metal vocalist. And he's like, "Still ain't laughing, Private." And then so finally he's like gets into like spoken word poetry. And finally Sergeant Gray was like, "All right, you're good."
You went to Fort Leonard Wood for AIT? Oh shit.
We had a dude. He was Native American. And his last name was Medicine Bull.
No way.
Yes. And when we were doing our FTX, he was like in his sleeping bag, and he was like all like you couldn't see him, and all of a sudden he pops his head out and he goes, "Wake me when sun meets crest of earth," and then he just went back in his sleeping bag. I was like, "What did he just say to us?"
I remember during our field training exercise, FTX, I went to the PX, Post Exchange, and I bought a pack of, what were they? They were like caffeine pills, so I could like stay up the whole time.
Vivarin.
Well, it was like the AFES version. AFES stands for Army Air Force Exchange, and AFES also sounds like a sexually transmitted disease. But yeah, I remember I survived.
But you don't have to pay tax for it.
I survived the field training exercise on caffeine pills and MREs and then on the field march back, I started hallucinating. They were like ninjas coming out of the trees, like in my peripheral vision, and then the moon was bleeding.
Oh, I've seen that without sleep too.
Yeah.
That's
I was up for
wild.
54 hours. So
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I've done the no sleep hallucination of the moon bleeding too.
Yep. That's how I served my country.
It was like when we were on the FTX, we got attacked.
Oh yeah.
But it was just Sergeant Great.
Yeah.
And he was sprinting around in and out of people's tents, like throwing down smoke bombs and stuff. And then he took off running, and we were like, "Where's he going? There's nothing but concertina wire over there." And he leapt over it, they put that stuff like 5 feet in the air.
Yeah.
You know? He just leapt over it and then sprinted off into the woods. And we were like he didn't even have a flashlight or anything.
seriously, guys.
4-4 truck ain't getting no pass this weekend. All right, y'all getting released. We're getting released for pass.
Did you always have a drill sergeant that called you, instead of privates, they call you Prat? Hey, Prat.
Hey, Prat.
Yeah, hey, Sar.
I had, when I got to AIT, it was just cadre at that point.
Yeah.
So only the combat MOSs had drills.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, I had, when we did our FTX for basic, I was in Georgia and a tropical storm came through.
Ooh.
And so instead of the 5 days, we only did 3 days because it was a tropical storm and it never stopped raining.
Yeah.
And the only time it wasn't raining is when we got to the site and they had us set up one tent. And one guy goes, "Hey, drill sergeant, where's the rest of the tents at?" And he was like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Our tent's like where we're going to sleep." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" "Well, we set up that tent." He goes, "Yeah, that's our tent." "Well, where's our tent?" He's like, "You guys don't get one." And he's like, "No, for real, drill sergeant, where's our tent?" He's like, "No, go dig a hole." And so we just dug ranger graves.
Oh, God.
And then it downpoured for 3 straight days, so you slept in a puddle.
If it ain't raining, you ain't training.
And when we did the march back, there was one guy who was like, "I want to carry the 240." And they were like, "We're not. No one's carrying the 240. Like, the thing is heavy as hell. No one's carrying it. It's going to go on a 5-ton." And he's like, "No, I want to prove that I can do it." He didn't even make it a quarter mile, and he was laying and he was dragging his own body, and he was crying. And this one drill sergeant goes, Rabbit, what's wrong with you? And he's like, I lost the will to go on, drill sergeant. And so they put him in the back of a 5-ton, and they would start at the end of the road march, and they would drive very slowly up to the very front, and they would stop and let the whole march pass the 5-ton so we could all stare at them sitting there, and they would drive up very slowly to the front.
Oh, no. Oh, the military. Thank you for your service, John.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your cervix.
Oh,
yeah.
Evan, the Chupacabra was magnificent. It was compelling.
I appreciate that.
Like the melon heads we did last week, like an hour ago.
Yeah.
But it'll come out last week.
Yeah.
And this one, yeah, we're definitely gonna get more into like the crazier stuff, but we had to cover the,
I
think it's time we start diving into some conspiracies.
I got one ready for the Dyatlov incident in Russia's Ural Mountains.
Yes. That one's so good.
It's a goofy one, so
I think I'm gonna hit Bigfoot again.
Oh,
I have more.
Well, I have to write an episode for next week, so you got.
Okay.
We haven't talked about
time.
feet in a while either.
Yeah.
So.
We haven't talked about feet.
Feetfinder.com. Only hobbits. Evan's hairy. I imagine. I haven't seen your feet before, Evan. Are they hairy and like hobbit-like?
They are.
I was asked by someone about whose phone number is that you guys are giving out and asking for feet pictures on. And I was like, well, first off, we don't really want the feet pictures.
No, we do.
Send them. Go to John.
I would love that. And we would be more than happy to post them on Facebook because we have a following.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how you. Well, we did say we wanted to get canceled. So
feet are. I don't know how people look at feet and get
the only calls that we get on the cryptid hotline is suspected spam from a 740 area code.
We should call them right now.
Give that phone number out again.
Let's call them back.
You could sell them and get money.
Yeah.
You're going to call them? Call them live on the show.
I'm calling them right now.
All right, listen up, guys.
Thank you for calling Platinum Recovery. Our office is open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you know your account number and need to make a payment by phone, please select option 1. To leave a voicemail with your name and callback number, please select option 2. Thank you.
Make it good.
Yeah. Leave a voicemail.
It didn't beep.
Thank you for calling Platinum Recovery. We apologize that we are unable to take your call. Please leave your name and...
It didn't
Platinum
beep.
Recovery.
It didn't.
Follow us. Like and subscribe.
Hey, shout out to Platinum Recovery for calling me. What did you... I'm going to Google it.
Yeah. No, so anyway, do the number. Tell people our numbers again. That's not actually John's number, but they do go to him, so
okay.
Send him feet pics.
That would be amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Feet pics.
It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, Luke, that's how we rate beers, like 1 to 5 feet because of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then we got off the rails and we're talking about feet, like send us feet pics. And
Yeah.
we get a little crazy.
Have you ever
Pickle
listened to our
sodas.
podcast? Luke?
Buy those
Did you hear Evan, Luke?
Have you ever listened to our podcast?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Luke is a listener. I send them whenever they get posted. I send them to him. He likes them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So our
Thank you for
number...
your support, Luke.
No problem.
Our number is 989-402-4091.
Call us. Stories. We still haven't got any listener stories.
No, we still really want those. So
We
you
had
can either...
one listener story, and now they're part of the podcast.
Send us stories.
I do have.
We can't guarantee you that if you guys give us a story that you will too also become part of the podcast, but we can't say that it won't happen.
Yeah, it's happened once.
We'll give you some crazy beers. Might give you some nicotine pouches.
Yeah, it'd be a fun time. We're fun to hang out with.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't do this for the money.
If we were doing this for the money, I'm in the red.
Exactly.
Good episode, Evan. I mean,
sorry we hijacked it. So.
It's okay.
Yeah. Taco Bell sounds so good.
I know. I forgive you
I want
guys.
Taco
I
Bell.
want some chupas.
Chupacabra.
Chupa.
So yeah.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right, times. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah. It's never too late to escape from the woods and become the cryptid that you always wanted to be.
Or the Chupacabra. Good sucker. Good night, everyone. Good night, everyone.
Good night.